Okay, go ahead.
Hello, my name is PJ Kim, and I'm a candidate for City Council running in District 1, which is Lower Manhattan and includes Chinatown. And I'm standing here in front of Chatham Square and really happy to hear the breaking news today that it seems that construction will be delayed or suspended for at least a year, perhaps more, while the city looks at alternative plans perhaps or considers more input. And it seems to me that's a good outcome at this point because both the process and the outcome in terms of substance of the process has not been, to my opinion, fully inclusive of community views, and it hasn't been sensitive to the really unique character of this neighborhood. And like many other neighborhoods in downtown Manhattan, there's been a lot of negative effects from existing and ongoing construction, especially on small businesses. And one of the key issues in Lower Manhattan is the loss of large businesses already in Wall Street, and now the other bedrock of the economy of small businesses are being really negatively affected by the economy and by the construction and constant disruption of consumer and client traffic. So I think it's really important that we're sensitive to all these issues and balance that with some of the security concerns that the city might have, but to make sure that the process is open so that all these different views and points of view have equal hearing and have equal access to decision makers. So I'm interested to see how the process unfolds over the next year. I hope to be a part of that process as the next city council person, and I really pledge that I can really incorporate all the different views of the residents, because this neighborhood is residential in character, very different from other parts of New York City, and to really understand and be sensitive to the needs of small businesses as well, which are really the lifeblood of this community downtown. Thank you.
PJ, let's talk for just a minute about the area where you live and your area in Manhattan that clearly maybe you may want to identify the area that you live in and what you see on a daily basis, and give us an insight in Chinatown as to what that's been like, both as a resident and what your take is on the business people that you've talked to down there.
I live on Greenwich Street South, 2 blocks south of the World Trade Center, and that area is one of the fastest growing residential areas in the entire city. And traditionally it's had a lot of high-rise buildings for commercial space, and you have also obviously had the World Trade Center there. There are a lot of small businesses that have been there for a very long time, and then some small businesses that moved there to serve some of the people that are now living there residentially. And those businesses have been tremendously hurt by a lot of the ongoing construction on Fulton Street, on the World Trade Center. A lot of the mitigation efforts that are happening downtown are still incredibly disruptive to both residents, especially young families that have children, and there's really not a lot of open space, and what space there is, there's a lot of congestion and a lot of pollution. And so I think across this district people are suffering from some of the residual effects of the constant construction, and some of that is necessary because we need to rebuild. We have to build for the future. Our infrastructure is old. We have to really upgrade that if we want to move forward, but I think we have to be very sensitive to the fact that certain neighborhoods that were primarily manufacturing or commercial now are transitioning into increasingly residential areas. And in Chinatown, it's always been residential, and those have coexisted with commercial. We just have to be especially sensitive to the fact that people have different needs and to really include the voices of small business owners in that discussion.
Well, we really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today, and we wish you the best. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, and I think the coalition and you guys have done a tremendous job for free on your own time, documenting a lot of what's happening, calling attention to issues that probably wouldn't get the same amount of attention, and also really looking farther afield outside the city to see examples of this happening outside of New York City, within the city itself, outside of Chinatown. Really brings a macro level view to what's happening, and that's a really invaluable public service that I applaud you for.
Thank you.